Let's turn now to Christmas. Christmas is the one celebration that can be called truly international. Not everyone embraces it, being of Christian origin as it is, but everyone is aware of it, and the whole nature and appearance of the world changes each year to accommodate it. The Eurobox publication Silent Nights celebrates in the form of poetry 20 years of Christmas in the new millennium. For over 4 decades, Bruce Clark has written an annual Christmas poem by way of a gift and statement for family, friends, and associates. The poems were of varying style and tones, depending on the history of that particular year and the mood of the planet. Now, Bruce Clark has compiled an anthology of 20 of these poems in a single volume entitled Silent Nights. These are the poems that were written for the first 20 Christmases of the current millennium. As well as celebrating the values of every Christmas since the holiday began, the variety of these poems represents a history of 2 massive decades. The introductory poem fittingly details an interview with a man who knew Jesus in order to establish the nature of the Son of God, who gave the celebration its name. Other poems with a Christian theme include Come Again, imploring a second coming as the only solution to the world's problem. Pietà, investigating the relationship of Holy Mother and Child, and The Visitors, where a man of another faith finds himself seeking shelter from a terrorist riot outside in a Christian cathedral, and finds himself amongst icons he doesn't understand. There are poems about the retail side of Christmas. Santa Exposed advertises Christmas as a reality television show. The Greening laments a Christmas parade where a figure of Shrek is given equal status to one of Santa Claus. Scrooge Revisits has that famous Dickens character wandering through a department store of today and seeing what Christmas has become since his time. While Caroling to Christmas and Christmas Feast reminds us of the standard practices of Christmas everywhere. There are poems that help us remember the history of the world in that particular year. He Didn't Know tells of a boy trying to understand 9/11, while Virginia's Tree reminds us of the time terrorist fears saw wrapped presents banned from the base of public Christmas trees. The 2020 poem compares the unofficial Christmas armistice in the trenches of World War I with the universal applause of health workers during the first rounds of COVID. There are poems like Shepherds and The Outback Priest that tell us of Christmas in Bruce Clark's own country down under. There are sonnets of lament for some of the war crises that occurred in these 2 decades, including one to Paris in the wake of the Christmas terrorist attacks. There's a song lyric called the Santa Claus Blues, and you are even invited to spend Christmas with the Trump, moving to another part of the world. Or Doctors and Angels, set in Afghanistan, and Crusade 2012, returning Christmas to the Holy Land. Bruce Clark was a high school teacher for over 40 years in his home state of Queensland, Australia. As well as teaching literature, he also practiced the craft, writing across a wide range of genres. He has written and directed over 25 school musicals, had 1 published, collaborated on a major stage musical titled Broadway Man, was asked to collaborate on a musical called Gilwell, on the life of Baden-Powell, founder of Scouting. He has won minor awards in play, short story, and poetry competitions, including a Pandemic Short Story Prize in 2020, and 3rd place in the Australian Catholic University's National Poetry Competition in 2021. He has previously published 2 political thrillers, had screenplays reach semi- and quarterfinals in international competition in 2021, and now, in his continuing crusade to become a proper writer when he grows up, offers this collection of his annual Christmas poems for public perusal. Silent Nights, a collection of Yuletide poems from 2001 to 2020, is published by Eurobox and is available now in bookstores and digital platforms.